Welcome, ladies. Sarah and I are so excited that you've joined the meditation and self-massage workshop. I'm calling it a workshop because we're going to have a little bit of interaction from you too. And so we're super excited for you to join us, and that we get that in life right now. It can be super challenging and overwhelming. And some days you feel a bit out of control. We also understand that one small action can be the match that lights the fuse at the end of the stick of the dynamite, or that one small action can be the one that changes your day around. And so you have an amazing day. I'm Carmen Murray, and I'm a life architect. And Sarah McCarty has joined me, and she is a massage therapist locally here in Acme, Alberta, in Canada. And we get where you're at when it comes to overwhelm. For me, it led to anxiety. And I'm sure for a few of you, your overwhelm can lead to anxiety some days or every day. Really depends on where you are. As a teacher working in a school, my anxiety showed up on my way to work, even though I loved my job. It showed up in my breathing. I found it really challenging to breathe, and I had to give my breath a lot of attention and focus on even breaths. It also showed up in my arms because they ached. It popped up in the evenings as I was getting ready to go to bed in my hands and interrupted my sleep, falling asleep, and then sometimes while I was sleeping. It also exhausted me. I'd arrive home from my workday and have no energy. Felt like I could easily go to bed. And I didn't have the energy to hang out with my family. And so I'm thinking that some of you have experienced this feeling of being done at the end of your day, and you still want and desire to hang out with your family and your kids, or even go out with friends and have the energy to do other things like that. Never mind the fact that dinner probably isn't ready and that you're going to have to clean up after dinner, hang out with your kids and partner, and then set yourself up for the next day. And the challenge in that is you have nothing left to give. And you do it anyways. You push through. For me, I felt like pushing through made it worse and just exhausted me more. I got more and more depleted, and I continued to push myself through until I actually got super sick. And so self-massage and meditation have supported me in overcoming my anxiety, the physical pain that showed up in my body that I didn't really recognize as physical pain. And it also supported me enjoying my evenings with my family. And so we're actually going to jump right in to doing a meditation. After the meditation, we'll talk about some of those benefits. And then we'll go into self-massage. I'm just playing with my thing a little bit here. Okay, awesome. So for our meditation, you can move around, be comfortable, whatever that looks like for you. For me, meditation, I don't traditionally sit. I don't think that you need to sit for long periods of time. Meditation can be so simple. It can be a minute, 30 seconds, 5 minutes. There's a lot of variations of meditation. They can be sitting in silence. They can be listening to a guided meditation. And so I'd really like you to hang up all the stereotypes of what meditation is or what you think it is, and be open and curious to coming at it from a beginner's mindset. Okay. So we're going to start by closing your eyes and allowing yourself to take a breath or two, landing here and now. And noticing where you're at. Noticing your breath as it flows. Beginning to notice your physical body. One of my favorite meditations is a globe meditation. It comes from the art of feminine presence. And it's about creating a globe around you that really supports you in whatever you're up to. I want to teach you that one today. Some of you may be familiar with it. Bringing your attention back to your breath. And notice your breath as it travels through your body, from the top of your head, all the way down to your toes. I want you to rest your attention on your second chakra or your womb space. And in that womb space, imagine a light source. It can be a candle, it can be a light filament, the sun, the crystal, anything that works for you. And with each breath, imagine that light source growing bigger and brighter and warmer. As it becomes this amazing glow from that second chakra, which is your power center. Noticing as some of that light and radiance cascades down your legs and grounds you into the earth. And having that glow and that vibrant, bright light continue to get warmer and brighter, bigger, until it's an inch or so all around your skin. Breathing into that, feeling that, noticing as that penetrates your physical body, your emotions, and your mental body. Allowing that warmth and that glow to replenish you. Noticing your cells as they shift to a little bit more alive. Notice your energy level and what happens to it. And really allow it to be a noticing. We don't need to make it good, bad, right, or wrong. And when you feel like you're ready, have that glow get even bigger. Have it extend till an arm's length above you, below you, and all around you, all sides. It continues to get brighter and more vibrant. It's got some great warmth from it, just like the sun is shining down on you. I want you to bring your attention to your back in your globe. Because sometimes in our globe, our back doesn't quite feel like it's protected or as solid as the rest of it. And so you can do little tips like imagine yourself turning around in your globe, giving your back a little bit more attention. Just turning up that vibrancy and that warmth behind you. sometimes I find it super helpful to imagine the people who are always on my team, no matter what, standing behind me, like they've got my back. Allowing this glow and vibrancy to replenish you. Allow yourself to feel some of that depletion you might have, or that overwhelm we talked about earlier. When your mind shows up and starts a conversation with you, acknowledge it. Bring your attention back to your breath. Notice your light globe. Maybe you feel like you need to cascade some more of that light down your legs, ground you into the earth, that subtle, dense energy of the earth. And allow yourself to be as we sit in silence for a minute. Allowing your attention to rest back on your breath. We're going to take our hands and rub them together, generate some warmth, and place them over your eyes, allowing the palms to rest right over your eyes, creating some darkness. If you've got glasses, you can take them off. Allowing your inner wisdom and knowledge to show up. And then as you're ready, you can take your hands away from your eyes. Bring your chin to your chest and flutter your eyes open when you're ready. And then join us on the screen, because I would love for you to share, unmute yourself and share how you feel after your meditation. And if it's taking you a few minutes to come back and come out of it, totally fine. Go ahead, Sarah.
I find meditation for me really stops the mind chatter and brings me back into the present moment.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. Kate, I see you've unmuted.
I would say very similar, that and just even if it's just for a minute or just a little bit more of a moment of calm.
Thank you. Yeah, those moments of calm can really support us as we go throughout our day. And Welcome, Tina. I'm so glad you could join us.
Thank you. I just realized it's been an interesting morning of technology challenges, so I apologize for showing up late, and I'm so grateful that you let me in the room anyway. And yeah, certainly took me a while to settle in once I finally did get here.
Thank you.
But every moment of just focusing on the breath is worthwhile.
Yeah, beautiful. I did my yoga teacher training 8 years ago. I guess that's how old my daughter is. And my yoga teacher defined the process of meditation. If you think about a TV screen that has static on it, I think all of us are old enough to remember the TVs that had static on them on the channels that you didn't have anything on. And it was like taking an eraser and erasing one speck of static here, one speck of static here. And as we continue to meditate, there's less mind when we meditate more often. And the more that static gets erased, the more clarity there is in our mind. So that was always a cool visual for me to go, oh, that tiny second I get of silence will grow over time. And it has. So that was a really great reference point and visual for me. Awesome. Okay, ladies, let's jump over to our PowerPoint presentation. I just wanted to touch on the benefits of meditation. One of my favorites is that I get time to digest my thoughts and ideas and experiences, because our days can be super busy. I'm so grateful mine aren't as busy as they were 2 years ago. But when I sit and give myself 1 or 2 minutes each day to do nothing but sit in silence, with it being the intention that I get to digest my thoughts and ideas and experiences, then they don't get stuck in my body and show up in weird ways. Another one for me, when I was a full-time teacher, and I'm not anymore, when I get home from school, I could meditate for like 2 minutes. And it would totally shift how I felt. It would give me energy for the day. And for my evening, like a 2-hour nap would have. And so I would have time and energy and motivation and find joy in cooking dinner for my family and hanging out with my family and setting myself up for success for the next day instead of dragging myself through it. I'm sure some of you have felt that feeling of when you get home from work. It's just like, you really don't want to do anything, and there's still 8+ things that you feel you need to do to set yourself up for success, including engage with people in your house. Becoming available for positive insights and bigger perspectives. For me, I love it when my brain isn't so busy that it has the capacity to be imaginative and for these amazing ideas to show up. And I can actually see the bigger picture and have more positive insights about my desires and dreams rather than feeling like I'm lost in it all. Sarah and I talked about this the other day, is the refocusing of our scattered mind. When our mind is going in 14 different directions and we meditate, it helps us get clear on what we want to do next. And we're not being pulled in those 14 different directions and wasting our time and not able to take a firm step to get something done. Fight or flight and rest and digest. I love these two concepts, fight or flight. You guys all know what fight or flight is. It's our brain being in our brain stem, and we're either fighting or we're running the other direction. And it increases our stress, which affects all of the systems in our body, not in a positive way. And I'm really sure that all of you have been in fight or flight, possibly even today. And maybe some of you have also been in rest and digest. And so I learned the other day that this has to do with our vagus nerve, and that we either can be in fight or flight or rest and digest. We can't be in both at the same time. And the other disturbing thing I learned was we tend to meander towards fight or flight. And so we need to purposefully take small actions like meditation or self-massage that Sarah's going to teach you about later, or some of the other habits that I teach in my year-long course or that we share in my membership that really help you go in the direction of rest and digest automatically. And you all mentioned the sense of calmness instead of that feeling like you're rushed here, rushed there, and that you're in the next moment and you're not able to enjoy this moment that's going on right now. And then I already talked a little bit about that sense of clarity with your action steps, which for me is amazing. When I sit at my desk and I can do something in an hour rather than flounder around, and when that hour is finished, I really haven't accomplished anything. It feels like such a waste of time for me, and there's so many other amazing things I'd rather be doing, like playing outside in my garden right now, that I would much rather do. So I really feel the benefits of meditation, even if we only start with 1 minute a day, are huge and really can help us step out of that space of overwhelm. And for some of us, when it steps into anxiety and that physical pain I mentioned earlier, as well as rejuvenate and revitalize ourselves so that we feel like our energy can be spread out throughout the whole entire day, and that we don't give all of our energy away to somewhere else rather than those that we love. Awesome. If you have any questions about meditation, we'll save them until the very end. Sarah's going to do a self-massage conversation / demo next. And so Sarah is a massage therapist here in Acme, and she's amazing. I'm super picky about my massage therapists. So she's my massage therapist, and we've been working together for a while. And so I'm so excited she's decided to join us. I'm going to stop the share so we can see her. I'm going to mute myself.
All right. So self-massage is something that I was kind of resistant on doing, which is funny because I massage other people all the time. But one of the major benefits I found for myself when I actually started doing it, it just brought me more connection to my body. And it really made me feel more comfortable with my body. And I wasn't expecting it to do things that it just didn't want to do, like isn't me anymore. It just really brought a sense of peace. So yeah, let's start with our head. So we're going to just massage the top of our heads. We can use small circles, big circles. I like to move the skin on my head back and forth. It's good for connection. And you can go all the way down to the base of your skull. And then go up on the sides too. This is really good if you have a headache. You can also use some essential oils. And make sure, we're going to go around your ears. There's a lot of muscles around there that can hold a lot of tension, especially if you grind your jaw at night. All right, and let's go along. We're going to go along the base of your skull where it connects to your neck. I like to use my thumbs for this, and I just do little circles. And if you're the kind of person who gets a lot of tension headaches, I would try and put this one in, maybe in the morning. Throw it into your morning routine somewhere and just see if it makes a difference for you. And let's go back to your ears and make our way onto our face. We're gonna go along our eyebrows. Go from the inside out. It's good for sinus clearing if you're feeling a little congested. We could do a couple of circles at our temples. It's actually a lot bigger muscle than we think it is. We can go down into our jaw, those big jaw bones or muscles. And another good one for your sinus is to go from the sides of your nose out towards the top of your ears. Good. Now we can go to the back of our neck and just work your way down. I'm kind of doing this along that big muscle on either side of your spine. And you can put your head to one side and give it a little stretch and keep those circles going. And if you use your opposite hand, you can get all the way to that good spot in the top of your shoulder blade. That feels like it connects to your neck. Let's even it out on the other side. All right. Now, one of the big things I think we're probably all guilty of these days is we're on our devices more, right? So we tend to round forward when we're doing that, whether it's on our computer, sitting on our phone, hunching over watching TV. So we need to really focus on working in the front here. So if you start from the bone in the middle, and you can kind of feel the spaces between your ribs, and you might find some crunchy bits and spend an extra second there. And I see some faces, which means we do need it. When you get out to your shoulder, I find kind of making a T with your arm, you can really feel in the front of that muscle there better. We can do the other side. Now, if you can reach anything on the back of your shoulder, that's great. Sometimes if you go underneath your arm, you can get a couple good spots. And if you feel like putting more time into it, you can grab a tennis ball or any ball you have at home and get to the middle of your shoulder blades, either up against a wall or on the floor. That could help. And we could do our arms. I'm going to back up a little bit. I had some people message me that they tend to get tingling and numbness in their hands these days more and more, so we could focus a bit on that. Remember the back of your arm all the way to your elbow, just those same circles. Do the front as well. And when your palm's facing up, if you focus on the inside of your elbow, that's a good spot for if you're getting tingling or numbness in your fingers. You might feel little crunchy spots or you can do circles all the way down to your wrist, do the outside, middle. We can turn it over, and when you're this way, go more to the outside of your elbow, again for that tingling or numbness in your hand. And you could follow those ropey muscles all the way down to your hand. And then I like to just grab it on, you're not holding super tight, just holding on either side of the arm bones, and move your hand back and forth just to get some movement in there. And you can go all the way up. And that's good for just freeing things up, especially the nerve pathways. Good for your hand. And then you can get into your wrist and your hand. Right now your thumb might be getting sore from all these circles, but we'll get to the other side. We can even just slide along the fingers. Hands and feet are really nice to do if you have oil, coconut oil, or kind of anything you have laying around. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Do the back of your arm, the front of your arm. Find some spots you didn't even know were sore. And go into your forearm again. And it's interesting to see how each side feels different too, where we tend to carry more on one side or put our weight more on one side than the other. Get back into our wrist and our hand. Into the fingers. Right. And that's the upper body. Do you think we have time to do more, Carmen, or?
I think we'll stop there.
Sure.
And I think we'll stop there because I think it's really great to understand that we don't need to do our whole entire body to feel amazing. Yeah. Okay, let's pop. Sarah's amazing job of sharing a bunch of the benefits of self-massage. We're just gonna touch base on a couple more. Sarah, did you want to continue or would you like me to?
Sure, I can read them. Yeah, like I said, it really connects your mind to your body. And especially if you've had any kind of trauma or injury, just like, let's say you broke your wrist, just feeling the scars in your wrist and moving your hand while your other hand's there too, it reconnects your mind to that part of your body. So it's really important for things like that. It's relaxing and calming. It does help tone tissue. Improve sleep, especially if you give yourself a little foot massage right before bed, is really nice. Promotes longevity. Strengthens your immune system. It actually gets the lymph system moving, which strengthens our immune system. Improves joint mobility and synthesizes self-esteem from the inside out, building more confidence. And that's kind of what I was touching on earlier too, when I said that it really brought me a better sense of self when I actually decided to start massaging myself. And just like what Carmen was saying for the meditation, it gets us out of fight or flight and brings us back into rest and digest. I don't know if you've had a massage before, and sometimes people are laying on the table and their stomach will start growling and they get all embarrassed that I'm going to hear their stomach growl. But to me, it's a good sign that you're actually resting enough for your digestive system to work, because it doesn't do that when you're in fight or flight.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. That's awesome. Let's stop share here. And it's really interesting. I love the sense of confidence that doing self-massage has brought me. And I have a totally different view of my physical body. And so being able to massage my full body is really helpful because it really connects me and brings me from this appreciation of my body rather than being critical and judgmental of it. And so that is super amazing, I think, for all women to feel that connection to their physical body and really love themselves, because when we can love ourselves on that level, everything else that we touch per se can be so much more amazing when we have that sense of confidence and identity of who we are and really appreciate and value who we are. Tina or Kate, do you want to share your experience with the self-massage?
Sure. I think it's a great tool to have that we just don't think about. You think you have to go to a massage therapist all the time, and that is, of course, far superior, I will say. But this is great for when you're at work and just, or I think as you had said, Sarah, you know, to do some of these, make it part of your morning routine so that you don't potentially get that tension headache or those tingling fingers or whatever, to make those little movements part of your your daily routine, particularly when you're at work or before work, I think is a great adjunct to regular massage by a therapist as well.
Yeah.
So great tips. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Go ahead, Tina.
Yeah, I echo those comments. I'm surprised at how much more relaxed, how good my body feels after such a short time. That wasn't a very long massage, and there's no hassle of having to go anywhere or get any equipment or any of those things. It's just here, my hands and I, and what a gift. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. One of the things we talk about when we do our habit course and our shine stuff is our hands are healing. Our children come to us all the time for us to fix their boo-boos and help them feel better, and hugs and things like that. And we have this amazing tool literally at our fingertips that can really help us connect with ourselves and feel so much better and step purposefully towards that rest and digest and calm our nervous system and allow us to feel whole and shine the gifts that we have to give. And so that's really what I'm all about. And I know Sarah is too, about sharing things with people so that you feel like you're in control. So you don't feel like overwhelm is running the show and you're just along for the ride. What questions could we answer for you, ladies?
I'm not sure I have any. Yeah, I don't think I have any off the bat.
Is there any like body part that you're like, oh, this one's giving me a hard time, that we can pick Sarah's amazing brain?
No, but I mean, it was kind of interesting to, notice spots that I think, as you said, Sarah, that you may not know were a little sore or crunchy, as you called it, that you're like, oh, yeah. So those are spots that may be contributing to issues and you didn't even realize that you had a sore area. So that was really helpful just to explore a little bit.
Yeah, and I like how you use the word explore, because that's totally what it is. We don't normally touch ourselves from head to toe every day.
Yeah, I do have a question, actually. Is this, Sarah, is your full-time job as a therapist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing these days? I'm assuming you're not seeing patients, right? Or clients, or whatever you call them.
No, I'm not. I've been keeping in touch with people through my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And this is the first workshop Carmen and I have done, but really, if people reach out to me, I'm giving them some at-home tips, and that's pretty much all I could do right now.
Yeah, it's just making me, I mean, we have chair massages at work, but of course that's not happening. We're all working from home, and it just made me start to think that, if therapists could do something like this, lead things like this online and pay them for it, that would help a tiny little bit. I mean, sure, it's not going to be the same as your regular patient income, but it just makes me sad. I'm just trying to think of ways to help people like you whose jobs are hands-on and you're not working right now,
Well, thanks. That's very generous of you.
It's forcing her to diversify, Kate.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely forcing people to become very creative, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. How about you, Tina?
Questions about sciatica come to mind. Sporadically, I'm very bothered one side or the other, fortunately not both at the same time. And is there anything to do to be preventative? Is there some way to kind of ward it off before it becomes a problem?
That's a good question. Do you do any stretching? Yeah, because stretching is one of the best and easiest things we can do, particularly for sciatica. Let's see if you could see my legs. I'm wearing dog print leggings, but even just sitting in a chair, having your ankle on your opposite knee and keeping your back flat and leaning forward, that's a really good stretch we could do anywhere. So you could do that on each side. Strengthening your lower back helps. And one of the best things I find for back strengthening is doing yoga. There's a lot of free people you can follow on YouTube and stuff. But for self-massage, for sciatica, you can find that bone on the outside of your leg. You might have to move your leg around a bit for it. And then just put a little bit of pressure. Trying to see how you can see my legs. Put a little bit of pressure and just move your ankle. So I'm moving my ankle back and forth like this. And you might find some sore spots in there, right at the joint. And that could help loosen it up too.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. I did want to mention one of the tools I use for meditation, ladies, is the free app of Insight Timer. It has 1 minute meditations all the way up to probably 3-hour meditations of varying topics for varying audiences. There's kids ones, there's adult ones. And so I really love that. And it tracks your meditation. So it's fun in that when I look at mine, I've done almost 900 days of meditation since 2017, I think. And so having that as a motivator to help you if that's something that motivates you. And so we use that a lot at my house, and I always recommend that one because it's free and it's got such a wide variety.
I actually have used that, and it does have a wide variety. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, all of us in my house use it, so it's really great.
Yeah, it is good.
Well, ladies, I am so excited that you joined us today, and I just have a couple more things to share with you on the slides. By the way, Kate, I really like your background. I totally had it is what popped up while I did the meditation.
That was in Zion National Park, where I was, God, I don't know how long ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago. It's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, ladies, as I mentioned, I do a couple programs, and one of the ones that I do is a year-long program, and Sarah's part of that. And it's a guided transformational journey where we deep dive into your daily habits, including meditation and self-massage, and transform your life in the direction you really want it to go, that direction that you're desiring and maybe even dreaming about going. And then the other one that I'm launching right now is called Shine Your Value. It's a membership, the lower cost one, because I know there's a lot going on in the world and some people that's a challenge. And that one focuses on me giving you tiny steps to implement in your day-to-day routines to support you in building your confidence. We just talked about body confidence. We also talked about clarity. And there's also a component in it where we talk cash flow and money and energy and that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in either of those programs or just asking me some questions about them, feel free to drop me a text right now at 403-819-0387, and we can have a conversation. And Sarah's information, even though you can't come and see her right now, what I'm sad about is here. And she has her Gmail, her web page, and her Facebook. Sarah, is there a phone number you want to share? Even though they can't phone it right now? Or they can get that information from these.
Well, I can read it off to you now. I can't remember if it's on my Facebook page or not. It's 780-850-2562.
Awesome. And then if you want to check more about what I'm up to, I've got a couple Facebook pages. One of them, Spherical Healing, Taking Yoga Off the Mat. Another one is called Live Your Value, and that's where we focus on the energy and the money. And the Beyond Survive is a newer one where we're sharing resources and such since this time of craziness in our world. My website is also there, and it's currently under construction. So I'm thinking that in the next couple of weeks, it should be back up with some more content for you to check out. And so thank you so much for joining us, ladies. We
Thank you
really
both.
appreciate that you took your time to join us during your lunchtime if you happen to be in this time zone. Kate, I'm thinking that it might not be lunchtime where you are.
No, it's a little later. Oh,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, and feel free to get in touch with Sarah or myself.
great. Thank you.